What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? Welcome to the Saturday stream. 3 people on the chat. Those are real ones. You guys didn't go to sleep, huh? I know. Crypto's pumping. It's pumping. But didn't we say it was going to pump? Yeah. I feel like mostly crypto bros are in the bear anticipating for a pump to come. But once the pump comes, they don't believe it. It's a little Stockholm syndrome-ish. You know what I mean? But believe it when you see it. It's what we've expected to happen over the last couple years, and it's just starting to begin now, right? So at the beginning, I equate it to like inertia, right? An object stays in motion or at rest unless the force is applied on it. We're starting to apply that force, but the inertia is greatest at the start, right? So it's gaining some momentum. Be expecting some kind of pullbacks, but those pullbacks and the times where we've pulled back are going to become more and more few and far between. Good morning, Yon. What's up, Richie? How you doing? Dub, what up, homie? Nothing much. Gold, silver, and crypto. The trio. Good day. My Shiba and Doge bags are smiling hard. They are. All the meme coins are pumping right now. All of them. It's telling you we're starting to get some retail attention. And then the meme coins, once they go in all-time highs, I think Pepe's already an all-time high. When Doge starts hitting all-time highs, then Robinhood's going to be kicking in full effect. And then once Bitcoin hits all-time highs, then the whole media is going to be shilling our bags. Like, this is the thing. We have bigger institutions in here now. It's more bona fide now. News agencies, news outlets aren't going to be seen as fringe kind of reporting. Once they bring it to the people's attention, it's going to be the craziest media cycle we've ever seen in crypto. You heard it here first, the craziest. Red dot at stock to flow. Stock to flow. That's a good thing to look at. Good to bring that up. Oh, the stock to flow ratio, guys. I think it was coined by Plan B. Yes. Plan B caught some heat last cycle because his stock to flow didn't exceed what the model suggested for the first time. I don't even know when he really started it, but I know it tracks Bitcoin's stock to flow, which is basically the amount that's being released and the amount that's available. And it kind of shows you here. Let me do something real quick. Entire screen. Yeet. So here we go, stock to flow ratio. Well, this is better. And basically you can see periods, overvaluation, undervaluation, but it's basically tracking along this orange line here. Now, it's not 100%. Obviously, you've seen it's overshot before, especially earlier on. That's to be expected because like lower market caps. But as the market cap gets bigger, obviously the volatility dies down. We talked about that last stream, how in the beginning, the price of the Bitcoin wasn't that high, but the percentage moves were much greater. As the number of the price gets higher, that's because of the market cap growing in size, and the percentage of the movement gets more subdued. However, it's still pretty freaking incredible, right? It's better than anything you're going to get in any other asset class anywhere else. So in 2017, we overshot, but Plan B was getting a lot of heat right here, because more or less it didn't exceed the expectation for the first time ever since this thing has at least been getting tracked. However, like I've been saying, a lot of people think of the 4-year cycle and they look at this and this was an underperformance. That's not the case if you consider the cycles getting longer over time, right? The larger the market cap, the harder it is to move, the more money that's required. Makes sense, right? And a lot of people, they talk about the 4-year cycle, but they only talk about 2017 to 2017 to 18 and 2017 cycle and the 2021 cycle. But they always conveniently leave this out here. And that's funny because if you did take this into account, this cycle was shorter than 4 years. So they're kind of just cherry picking in my mind, they're cherry picking the data to fit their narrative. But you can't just ignore this because you want to, right? So if you look at this right here, you'll notice that the cycles are slowly getting a little bit extended over time. And this is the third cycle. So what I'm kind of suggesting and what this is kind of showing is not that this top in 2020 was an underperformance. It was just the progression of a regular cycle that's occurring over a longer period of time. And we're finally approaching that euphoria type blow off that we did not get last cycle coming up now. And if you could see this section over here, I talk about 2013 all the time, guys. This is what I am making a claim about. It's synonymous to what occurred over here. Just over a much longer period, obviously. It's harder to move. Takes longer time to move. This was a couple months, kind of a drop down lull, shot back up, and this is what I think we're approaching now. But obviously, we had a drop down, and it took much longer because we're moving a bigger asset class. I don't see a red dot, man. I don't see a red dot, but typically when a red dot shows up, that's been indicative of this thing going ham. Red dot, ham. Red dot, ham. Red dot, it goes ham. Not seeing it just yet, but once that red dot shows up, then everyone's on board. Everyone's on board. But you know, man, it's all about getting a feel of the market too, right? You can feel like if you've been in the market for a while, you could start looking around like, oh, I'm getting like 2017 vibes. Like, you know, like I'm starting to see like coin market cap looking like 2017, right? We're seeing like coins, older coins going up a lot now. That's very indicative of a mania phase approaching. It's the first time that I am in profit since 2022. It is exciting, and I think it's just the beginning. I still hodl. Yeah. The hardest part is this. You're going to get into profit, and if you're profit right now, if this continues going the way I think we all think it's going to go, you're going to be in a lot of profit. And the struggle isn't going to be like, what do I say? The struggle is going to become, instead of like not dropping your bags, the struggle is going to be dropping your bags at the right time. The hardest part is selling. Selling when you're in profit. It's easy to sell when you're not in profit. It doesn't take a master of investing at all to sell when you're losing, because the feelings are telling you to sell, right? But when you are at your highest profit, that's the hardest time to let go of some profit, like some of your bags. But remember, I want you guys to focus on realized gains versus unrealized gains. They're very different. Everyone in crypto is going to tell you, I'm a millionaire. I made this and that. Did you realize the gains? If not, it's all just in your head. You don't have to sell it all, but you will have to sell some, right? You're going to feel the wealth effect happen. You're going to feel like, oh, I can drop this and that, and I have made so much money. I can do this and that and move the money around. But I'm telling you, man, no one can predict exactly when this thing is going to crash. Sometimes it could come with a super quickness. Let's jump over to the Bitcoin chart real quick so I can demonstrate this for you. Wait a minute. Bitcoin. This down. And why am I doing this? Not trying to be a buzzkill, man. I'm trying to keep your head on straight because I know how it gets. Sometimes your head gets away from us in these bull runs. That's the main thing. That's how people usually get hurt, is not keeping it 100. Okay. You see these wicks down? I'll get off the weekly. The daily probably shows them much better. There's some savage crashes out of nowhere in crypto, right? In 2017, I guess from here all the way to here, it took about 500 days to rise up. That's more of the less volatile rises in Bitcoin, if you could imagine that. But then it took approximately 50 days to drop like 70%. That's 10 times faster. The drops happen 10 times faster, if not just black swan out of nowhere. I mean, and look at this. It took 166 days to rise up approximately, wow, 2,600%. But note, it took about 3 days to drop 81%. Now, look, these drops are less volatile as time goes on, but the message is still the same. It could feel like these things go up for a while, and like this is going to happen forever. You're going to be rich forever. Just know the drops happen 10 times faster, and it's always a surprise. Because all the moon boys are out here saying Bitcoin is the new gold standard. I love the Bitcoins. I love it. Telling you all this stuff, getting all up in your head. That's why you have channels like this, to pull each other down to reality. The point for you is to end on the wealth effect, to exit wealthier than you came. So you can have some of that wealth. You can have some crypto too, but I don't want you to be all in, all out. That's ridiculous. No pro invests like that. None. Zero. At least no successful pro. Okay, so like I start this off with a little pep talk. I know how it's feeling. It's feeling really good. That's the dopamine. Oh, and they're going to push that dopamine on you. You're going to feel that. It's going to feel good. But like I said, guys, also, if you haven't taken any profits ever, I do suggest taking a little bit. I'm not talking about anything substantial at all. Maybe just a tiny bit, just to get used to it, get into the habit of it, work the muscle out. Because if you can't sell when we haven't even reached all-time highs, you're definitely not going to sell for the first time way over all-time highs. I'm telling you this. This is a pro tip. But you don't got to listen to me. Like I have a friend who ain't never sold ever since 2013. He ain't never sold nothing. And he has this number. And he thinks, you can sell right at that number. But like, selling is also a practice thing, You gotta practice every aspect of the investing. Yo, generational talent, what's good? How is EOS doing? I gotta do the EOS check for generational talent. Dude, you got some ironclad hands. I gotta give it to you. Gotta give it to you. What EOS is up 16% on the day. Hey, let's give him a shout out, guys. Let's give generational talent. Round of applause. There we go. We support everyone here. Well, I got some ways to go. And EOS, hey, this is kind of like, this is a long-term, since 2018, like kind of like descending wedge, in my opinion. So if you're still looking for some opportunities, there are some out there. They're not the sexiest ones, and they're not the most pump-a-mental meme ones, but they're definitely the coins people forgot. Let's do another one. I know I got some Digibyte fans out here. Got Digibyte fam out here. Check it out. These are Dino coins, but these are the coins that no one remembers about. These new hodlers out here, they don't know about these coins. They call them boomer coins now, which don't make no sense. But okay, whatever. And then let's look at Decred, DCR. Hey, people don't even know about DCR. But I want to show you. Bang. Look at DCR. I call DCR last cycle right here. At the absolute bottom. My video came out right then and bang. There is still opportunity everywhere you look. You don't have to chase in everywhere. And not everything's a good opportunity all the time. Yeah, you could tell me all this. You could tell me all that this has better tech, blah, 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 whatever. But there's definitely a better time to get into something and a worse time to get into something. Can we agree? Hey, 14 people, what's good? We are always last to move. Hang in there. Alt season about to crack. It is. Wow, EOS, finally. I still hold my EOS back from 2020. Good. Go, DGB, go. Yeah. See, this is a time to celebrate. Definitely celebrate. Not telling you guys not to celebrate. Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. Look, and this is the funny part, man. I come up on YouTube and I try to tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, what they need to hear, and they hate you for it. Whatever. Not everyone's meant to be rich, and that's the truth. You got to realize that. I used to be, when I got into crypto, I used to try to convince everyone. I used to try to convert everyone, tell them what I saw. I wanted them to get in on it. I wanted them to be like, part of the come up. But then you realize not everyone's built like that. They're not. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's just you can't fit a round peg into a square hole. Some people are about it. Some people are born for it. And others, they just don't. It's not that they can't see it. They don't see the value in it, in seeing it. And they don't really see the value in seeing things early. It's all about people who want to feel affirmed in what they do versus people who want to be early in what they do. If you're early, you're never affirmed. And if you're never affirmed, sometimes there's bad feelings that come along with it. But that's the only way you really get ahead in life. That decision has to be made up in someone's mind, right? Before you come along and try to convince them. You can't take a horse to water if it don't drink. 13 people. Let's look at the Bitcoin D. Bitcoin dominance, all the money tied up in Bitcoin versus everywhere else. Where's the rest of my chart? What is happening? Let's reload this. Cool. Okay, guys. So this chart makes it pretty simple for you. It's not a million indicators. It's like RSI, it's volume, and it's geography in the chart. That's it. That's all you really need. I mean, like, I don't even like to use moving averages because they're kind of lagging indicators or averages. Averages are like points that have happened already, right? So it's not really good in my mind. It gets you a good idea of like when something undervalued versus overvalued aggregately, but it's not going to tell you what's going to happen moving forward too much, in my humble opinion. But this chart, I've done it pretty straightforward for you. Look at two freaking structures. This happened before, this triangle, rising wedge, Bitcoin dominance fell down. We see the exact same thing happen, but this rising wedge occurred over the course of about a year. This rising wedge has occurred over 3 years, about maybe 2.5, 2.5, 2.3 or something. So after this 1 year rising wedge, we had a drop in Bitcoin dominance of 37%. So that suggests to me the drop would be bigger, right? However, let's be conservative, right? This isn't a very crazy call in my opinion. This is where the last area of resistance was. This is like 28% drop in Bitcoin dominance. The reason I draw this as some kind of resistance means that we'll probably have a bounce at some point off of here because we've done that for the last 5 to 6 times you've bounced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. However, the long-term resistance line has been 35%. That's the lowest Bitcoin dominance has ever gone. And given that this structure is about 3 times longer and larger than the last one we've seen, I think at some point, even to get a bounce here, we would bounce down. That would take us from where we are now, drop 33% in Bitcoin dominance. However, this thing is huge. It can break through. It can break through. Okay. Now, I'm not anticipating how low this thing can go, but because it's so large, it has the potential to go below. And I could think of some scenarios where that could push it to do that. But I'm going to say Bitcoin dominance could drop to at least 33% this go round. But mind you, the first time we had a real altcoin season was 2017. It dropped 62%. Okay. Then we saw 30-something percent. This first initial drop, 20-something percent. But I'm just telling you right now, if altcoin ETFs pop up on the scene, that's something I can't really predict. This thing could find a new low, right? But once you start hitting around resistance, and you should be using this chart as a way to navigate your way through this bull market, right? because it's giving you like, it gives you a real good understanding of how much money has flown out of Bitcoin. And that gives you a real good understanding how greedy people are getting, right? The fear and greed index is good too. It's kind of just like a general indicator, but we could look at that in a second. So I want you guys to use Bitcoin dominance. You can use stock to flow. We looked at that before. Then there's the fear and greed. These are all kind of things that give you a general feeling on crypto. Well, you're going to say Dub Digital. I want to know exactly what I want to get in and out. Well, so does everyone. I mean, new people are going to come in here. It's like, when do I buy? When do I sell? And it's like, bro, you're new here. It doesn't work like that. The whole point is to capture a large majority of the move and leave with more money than you came. I would say you should shoot for about 80% of the move would be great. You're not going to hit that all-time high. You're not going to hit that lowest point of Bitcoin dominance because sometimes it just comes so ferociously. You might be sleeping when it happens, you know? But check this out. Fear and greed, we're at 80. Last month, we were at 63. So I just want to show you guys, if this doesn't tell you anything, it doesn't really tell you in terms of like prices, what's happening, but it goes to show you the fear and greed like indicator moves like the freaking wind. It just goes to show you how many people in crypto have no idea what's going on. They're scared. They're greedy. Their emotions get shifted so easily. And Wall Street comes through here once Bitcoin breaks all-time highs. Wall Street's going to come up in here and push freaking media in their face and tell them that this is now the time to get in. You're late. Don't be late. You're early. Get in. You're going to see this. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be prophetic when it happens. It's going to seem prophetic, but it's really not. It's the same damn playbook, man. And then eventually, when everything crashes down, you'll see this way over here in the red. And you'll start to realize that most of crypto isn't really experienced investors. It's largely a lot of retail that are investing for the first time. And you can tell how stupid crypto gets towards the top, right? The reason I'm telling you these things is so you can be aware of it. So you can use what's happening around you as an indicator within itself, your own life experience, right? So yeah, these are things that I don't think like, technical analysis is great. It's great. But this is typically more of kind of like the Warren Buffett style, right? The more like older school kind of like feel it out style. I want you to learn technicals, but I also want you to be able to when those technicals line up with what you're experiencing in the world, that's when you know, like, okay, everything's coming together. Everything's lining up. But yeah, when this thing starts to get very, very greedy towards 90, towards the tail end of the fear and greed index, then that's when you should start looking around and be like, okay, I need to start like backing away a little. Yup. Blind Dave, listening, sharing. Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me over. If you guys haven't gone and followed Blind Dave, he has a YouTube channel. Every Thursday, he does a show, Hash It Out. Clint Westwood, who's going to be, I'm doing an interview with him next week. We're going to talk about his story, how he got in crypto, and just have a chat. I'm going to do a new like series of crypto OGs I know, get their story documented, because if this channel doesn't turn anything, at least it's a good document of history, right? So you could really like come to know what crypto was, who got attracted to crypto, people's individual stories, because crypto's turning into something else now. It's turning into freaking moon boy, get rich, yachts. Hey, crypto was never that, ever. It was never about that. Maybe it was like, a little bit, but like people are coming into crypto now. They don't know anything about crypto. And I think that's just a shame. So I want to, at least get these things out on the internet so some people who are interested in it can hear it. I think it's valuable to hear other people's stories. But yeah, go follow Blind Dave. He does a show. I think it's 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Convert that to whatever time zone you're in, called Hash It Out. A lot of OGs that come up on there. We just talk about self-sovereignty, what's coming down the pike for the market, the economy, how it's going to affect the market, so on and so forth. So make sure to check it out for sure. How you feel about EOS this time? I mean, I told you I see EOS. EOS is like probably in a very long-term descending wedge. And rising wedges, descending wedges, they're reversal patterns, right? But because EOS has been going down for so long, not a lot of people are going to agree with that. That's fine. But like I see it. I see it. I look over longer term time frames, man. I look over I'm looking at the pattern of a chart, not just in the last year. I'm looking at over all the years, right? That's why this channel is called Crypto News Macro Trends. And I think at this point, with everything popping off and Bitcoin dominance getting ready to drop, and I called that like a long time ago, it's getting ready to drop. I don't see a scenario where EOS doesn't break out of that descending wedge pattern. And because it's been constricting for so long, it's probably going to be pretty explosive. But just like everything that's been down for a very long time, to be quite honest. I mean, that's what I got really into WanChain. Besides the tech and the good team, things been suppressed for a long time, coiled up. And isn't it just normalcy bias to think that something that's happened is going to happen forever? That's normalcy bias. We know about that. It's like a documented thing. Oh, it's down forever. Screw it. It's dead. It's done. Oh, really? But see, I'm a little bit of a contrarian like that, guys. And then once it pops off, like EOS pops off, or WAM pops off, or DCR pops off, or Digibyte pops off, or Bitcoin Cash pops off, or Litecoin pops off, then everyone's like, it was obvious. I roll. Oh, I said that. All right, let's go ahead and look at total DeFi market cap. DeFi is going to come back in a big way this cycle. And it's not just me guessing that. It's not just me making an unsubstantiated guess. This is the total DeFi market cap. It's all the money wrapped up in DeFi projects. This thing dropped down in 2022 from its height about 84%. We saw all the famous DeFi protocols like PancakeSwap and Bunny and everything all up on Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum get crushed to death. But since that time, since very low in December 2022, it's been about 431 days. And within that 431 days, the total DeFi market cap has risen up about 230%. Silently too, right? No one's paying attention to it just because it's not spiking. Everyone forgot about DeFi. They thought it was a flash in the pan. But if we zoom out, I thought there was more on this. Let me reload. If we zoom out and you look at the whole structure, and that's why I tell you guys to do this. When has DeFi ever just disappeared? I mean, if it was a flash in the pan, it would just went boom, boom, and died. But it continued to rise up over the years, over 2017 to 2022 to 2021, and we just had a minor setback right here between 2022 to 2024. But guys, this trend line is going like this, up and to the right. This looks very, very bullish to me. I think DeFi is going to pop out in a big way. I'm not going to make a speculation on how far it's going to go. And on the daily, it's kind of RSI is a little bit up there. On the weekly, the RSI is a little bit up there. That's what I'm saying. At some point, we're probably going to give some back on Bitcoin, and that's going to affect everything. But on the monthly, when you zoom out to the very long term, it's not even the old oversold territory. I mean, look at this. Just look at it's dead to you. No. That's why I'm getting into DeFi as well. And I have some strategies on DeFi that I like to employ. I learned it from some people just being in the space and doing DeFi, degen stuff in the space. So DeFi is somewhere I feel like I can maximize. And during the euphoria phase, we really haven't really seen DeFi in the euphoria phase. DeFi's thing was in 2020. And that was kind of before Bitcoin started doing its thing a lot. DeFi just took off by itself for the most part. And then Bitcoin kind of followed. People were getting airdrops for the first time. Uni popped up on the scene. People were getting rich off of cake. That's when a lot of money flowed from Ethereum to Binance Smart Chain because Ethereum gas fee was spiking through the roof. But we haven't seen it in a full-blown altcoin season like 2017 style. And that's what I think where DeFi is going to blow people's minds. I remember looking at Cake, right? I'm not. This is not like promoting Cake. What I'm trying to show you are these dexes, man. These dexes. Cake went from like what 34 cents all the way to $40. That's crazy. That's like 100x, over 100x. I'm just gonna look at what's Bunny doing. Is it dead for sure? Because it should be rising up a little bit. Pancake Bunny, like milk. Even Pancake Bunny's rising up. Oh man, that ever comes back though. But this thing got hacked and it's rising up. I mean, look, guys, if you can't see that the space is starting to get in that area where no one cares. And I'm not telling you to get into those projects, but the amount of irrationality that comes from just euphoric dopamine pumps, Bitcoin going to new all-time high to new all-time high, I just want you to like be aware of it because it's so easy to get caught up in it. But like people are buying up hacked projects now, and we haven't even went past all-time highs. Oh my. Oh my. Oh man, we're gonna see some big pumps. What up, Dub? Good to see you, Brohamsky. Yeah, you too, Irrelevant. You too. Irrelevant, you still looking at Pirate Chain? I know you were big into Pirate Chain last cycle. What's up with Pirate Chain? Oh, not too much rising. I mean, slowly. But this thing moves like crazy too. See, guys, there's opportunities. I mean, Pirate Chain's a privacy coin. Sometimes piracy coins get like kind of like stymied because it's exchanges don't like privacy. They don't want you to exercise your freedom of like financial privacy. But there's things that I think could come along the line. This is a 35 million market cap coin. And if you notice, let's go over to our heat check real quick. I want you to see the flow of money between large cap to medium cap to small cap. Okay, so Bitcoin obviously been doing its thing. What the heck, dog with hat? Shout out to Richie. I know you've been in this, but sorry, I shouldn't have done that just yet. Bitcoin pumps up first. It flows into Ethereum. So basically it's based on the market cap. The money goes into big market caps first because the money perceives that as safer, right? But because it has a bigger market cap, even though the number of the coin, the price of the coin is higher, the percentage move is always going to be less, right? But that's typically where the money enters in first, especially new money, especially institutional money. They want the bigger market cap because if you're pushing big amount of money into an asset, you don't want to slip on yourself. You don't want to make the price go up on yourself. So they push it in there. Retail, they feel more comfortable going into Bitcoin and Ethereum because they've been told that's the most bona fide, whether it's true or not, right? So they go in there. Then the money gets comfortable. They realize and they get some gains. They feel good. They start getting that wealth effect. Then it starts flowing down to BNB and Solana's going ham. I mean, just look. You can click into every single one of these charts and it could verify what I'm saying. BNB is going up. Solana's going ham. You can watch it real time. This is why you should do heat checks like every single time you got internet, just to understand how this money's moving. XRP is starting to tick up. I mean, XRP might be getting ready to do its thing. And all we need is a couple coins to do this, just like Doge did in 2020. Pepe's starting to do now. Doge is coming him off the bottom to bring these new people in, right? And in the start, it's Bitcoin. And then you start getting a wealth effect from Bitcoin. It starts spreading across the space. Then it's Ethereum. Then people start doing that. Then it goes to Dogecoin. Then Dogecoin's attracting people spreading stuff into meme coins. It's like they're all like sponges that suck in the money. And then they get squeezed out and it goes to different areas of the ecosystem. And then that money just starts running down like gravity into smaller and smaller market caps. We haven't really seen it enter into all of this tiny market caps yet. Because when that money starts getting there, then these percentages aren't going to be 10, 20% up in the day. They're going to be like 100% up in the day because the market caps are tiny. And then once the new people experience that, they're all in. They think it's easy because they only got in the space when it's easy. They don't know anything different. They don't. And it's sad. But you're not going to tell them nothing, especially if they turn 10,000 into 100,000. You're not going to tell them a damn thing. And they'll say, I made $1 million, this and that. But they never pull. And that's how the cycle goes. You know what I mean? Yes. Look, MD Financial. MBD Financial. What is that, man? What is that? But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, guys. The bull is back. I missed the bull. I always love to see it come, hate to see it go. But while it's here, nom, nom, nom. But look, this is my thing. I've made mistakes in the past, right? We all learn to get better from it. If we don't learn from our mistakes, we deserve to get wrecked. So let's do something a little different, right? You should be packed. If you're following this channel, you should have been packed. If you weren't, what have you been waiting for? I've been telling you should have been packed, right? Ideally, it's good to have your stuff packed from a tax standpoint. If you do that, I promote it. You don't want any trouble with the government, but whatever, do whatever you want. Packed for a day, a year plus a day. And that's so you get long-term capital gains. Because just because you buy something and then you sell it a week later, you're getting about 40% more or less. I mean, if you're in crypto, you're probably hitting around 40% taxes, right? So you can get like 20% more of the profit if you just buy something, hold it, and sell it, right? It's not always the best thing to be jumping in and out and being super active, because every single time you go from a crypto to crypto, and this is a real tip, that's a taxable event. And you don't want to be in a situation where you're making a whole bunch of taxable events and you don't have no fiat to pay it. Been there, done that. I'm just being real. Second bull run for real. Got to do this right this time. Yeah, I'm trying to look out for you guys right now. Every single time you go to a crypto event, that's taxable. You want to make sure that when you sell, you have the tax liability covered. Because sometimes, man, it gets rough if you don't. That's a real tip. No one's going to talk about. And if you don't pay taxes, that's whatever. Don't tell me about it. But yeah. Also, you want to make sure that the money that you pull, if you're going to make a lot of money, you want to make sure the asset has enough liquidity or you can get out from it somewhere, right? And that's why a lot of big time investors, they don't really go past the top 25 or top 50 because they want to make sure that they can get out with the money, right? If you're getting into like a super small token, you can make a lot of money, but you're going to experience some significant slippage, like 30% or something. Depends, So, hey, can you guys hear me? My internet's raining hard out here. That was me. I never pulled, but pulling this time. Good, Xavier. Good. I'd be happy to see it. Because this is the way I think about it, man. You don't ever want to operate from a standpoint of fear, right? I want you guys to keep positive thoughts. How you think is going to affect how you invest. Guaranteed. So the one thing you can do in improving your investing professional life is to improve what's up here. Because if you don't fix what's up here, even though you might not know it, you'll start seeing it go up like, oh, I'm scared to drop it. What if I sell it and it goes up again? Like, see, that's how your operating system is affecting like what you mechanically do in the world. So like, don't be overly fearful. If anything, start your day with gratitude. Started like I'm lucky I got to wake up today. I'm lucky I got into crypto when I did. I'm lucky I know the people in the space that tell me the truth. I'm lucky I have a good community. I'm lucky I have more than I had the day before. That's how you have to think. Because when it comes down to it, that voice is gonna be sitting on your shoulder telling you, don't sell, you idiot. What are you doing? You can make it can go to $1 million past here. What are you doing? See, and that's how you get wrecked. Because that's greed. But if you don't have the greed like secured and controlled in the beginning, you're gonna fall victim to it. You can pick any number you want, anything in the world. Don't matter. Because the greed could come and screw it all up. So fix it up here. Fix it up here. And if you're not there yet, you want to start doing it. Have you seen my mail? I'll check it today. I'll check it today. For sure. It's Friday yesterday, man. I want to get some pho. Nom nom. With the wife. How early would you move your Bitcoin to Coinbase? They insure up to how much? Question mark. I mean, I put my Bitcoin in there when I'm ready to pull it. I ain't gonna have that sitting on there for like forever. If anything, and you wanted to move something just to like the gas fees is Ethereum, but still, I mean, like, dude, I got quoted a $200 Ethereum gas fee 2 days ago. What the hell? Like at that standpoint, I kind of get it, you know, because like, what are we gonna see? $1,000 gas fee for Ethereum this cycle? Probably. But for Bitcoin or anything else that has reasonable fees, I don't think it's worth the risk putting on exchanges and just having it sit there. You send it, you see the price, you want to sell it, you send it there, you sell it now. Like that's it. And then you like cash that stable coin, you get into your bank account, so it's FDIC insured. Is Coinbase FDIC insured? And you know, even FDIC is trash, but it's better to be FDIC insured and have the funds there than not. You know what I mean? But hey, look, Coinbase already started like going down, and we haven't even went to all-time highs yet. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. 100K insurance. Yeah. Well, it's not enough in my opinion. You know, like, and you know how insurance goes. Then it takes a long time to get it, this and that. And then, you know, like what? Sometimes insurance doesn't have enough money. I mean, the FDIC is underinsured for the amount of counts it insures. So what does this insurance really mean, guys? They could sell you all this stuff like, oh, we plan to be able to like insure this many accounts. Well, what if there's a wide scale banking failure and everything needs to get insured? Do they have that money? I got trust issues. I got mad trust issues, and that's why I'm in crypto. That's why I got in so early. LOL. I remember when they hit me over the head for my crypto kitties. LMAO. You had a crypto kitty? That's tight. That's tight. Was that the that was the first NFT on Ethereum, right? CryptoPunks was the first one on Bitcoin, I think. Was it? Yeah, Crypto Kitties. Crypto Kitties basically, check it out. If you guys weren't around 2016, 15, 17, Ethereum came out with like one NFT collection. It was like the first one, Crypto Kitties. And then people were minting it, right? And just from people minting it, it clogged up Ethereum and ran the gas through the roof. So if you think this gas thing is like anything new, it's really not. And like Ethereum was supposed to implement what is it, EIP 1559, so they could have like kind of like instead of a flat gas fee, kind of like a surge pricing model type for gas fee. And a lot of people thought it was going to improve it, but it really didn't. It kind of made it worse. I mean, at this point, I'd prefer a flat fee. F it. Do it live. 24 people. F Ethereum. Man, I only hold Ethereum. I only have like one ERC20, to be quite honest at this point, because I just don't want to freaking move it. I don't want to move it. The one I got is that's a long-term Hail Mary play. That's it. Meme coins are flying. Yeah, we could look at meme coins. That'd be fun. I still have 6. I picked that over CryptoPunks SMH. Hey, it's okay. It's okay, man. You know how many stupid things I did with crypto? So many. I can't even count it. It's dumb. But look, that's the price we pay for, like, we know much more about the space now. That's the price you pay. That's tuition, baby. You know, like, no one said it was going to be easy or cheap. But what I can't tell you is the things you've learned back then, if you were to make them today, could be much more costly. We got a discount on our education. That's the way I look at it, man. Meme tokens, dog with hat. Ooh, up 271% in 7 days. And to be honest, these are just starter prices. If you haven't been in crypto before and you haven't been in a real altcoin season, these are warm up. These are warm up percentages, man. There's some times I was sitting at the gym in 2017 just refreshing my freaking Coinbase app. And it was just going up every single time I refreshed, like every second. I was like, what the? It's like, I got to go hit my next set. I'm just refreshing crap right now. It gets wild, man. Floki, hey, LH Grows, you out there? We talked about Floki last stream. I said it had more upside. This thing is flying now. Pepe up 241%. Shiba Inu, bonk. Bitcoin Cash. Doge up 62%. Let's look at Bitcoin Cash. This thing went up. I got a feeling this thing is just one cycle behind Bitcoin, you know? So, like, I mean, it popped out in 2017, as you could see, right? Everyone had BTC, got BCH. A lot of people sold it off, got a lot of sell pressure. At this point, I think the people who have sold it. And it showed to be pretty exponential during the 2021 run for an altcoin. It didn't get a new all-time high, but look how sharp this W is. So I think Bitcoin Cash can do something pretty interesting this cycle. But, you know, it's probably because Bitcoin's gas fees are going to get dumb because of ordinals. You know, the same thing that happened with Ethereum is probably going to happen with Bitcoin. And then what happened with Ethereum during DeFi summer? A lot of people flooded to another chain. They went to Binance Smart Chain. Bitcoin's not immune because now people on Bitcoin are doing things on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is no longer just a store of value, just so you know. Even Bitcoin maxis are doing ordinals and trading meme coins that are made on ordinals. So Bitcoin BTC was never meant for that. So it's not going to perform well. And I could see money flowing through, like, to other ecosystems. The Bitcoin maxi got a taste of shitcoin culture. Isn't that funny? Like that mindset. This is gonna be bigger than 2017. We got ordinal meme coins, we got ordinal tokens, we got ordinal NFTs, we got ordinals on Dogecoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash. Then we got all the altcoins, and then we have the layer 1 altcoins that have the meme coins on, the altcoins on that. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild, guys. It's gonna be historic. It's gonna be history. I want you to soak it in, and I want you to really pay attention this go round because this is going to be crypto history. And just like I remember 2017, it was like yesterday because I paid attention so much, and I paid attention during the bear market so much, and I paid attention in 2022 so much. 2020 so much. Like, pay attention now. I wish I paid more attention in 2013 when I got in. I just bought it and forgot it. But, like, paying attention is invaluable. Invaluable. And in the future, if crypto keeps going the way it's going, people will pay you for your experience. This is like important. And when it gets hard, don't forget either. Watch, look, learn. Because someone can pay you in the future for this. There's so many people who are oblivious to what's been happening in crypto up to when they get in, probably in a few months. They don't have no idea what happened. Hey, this is why layer 2s will moon. You already start seeing it. You see Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon now has some competition. You have Base, You have all these new layer ones. You got Metis. It's gonna be a fight for layer twos. It's gonna be wild. The smart contract on BCH are going to kick off next year. Bliss conference in May, worth keeping an eye on. Tight. So smart contract compatibility for BCH coming down the pike should be good. But I don't think BCH needs that right now to moon hard. No, I mean, has a huge community. Yeah, Floki definitely pumped, but it will consolidate. Yeah. To be honest, guys, like I'm done. I'm done investing in like a new stuff. Over. Fiend. My bags are packed. That's it. That's what I learned. I ain't trying to get a nut. If I don't get on the bottom, I don't care. I do not care. That's how I got hurt in the past, man. Like, if you invest in the bottom, even if you get wrecked and you miss the top and you hold it all the way down, it's still up. Like, I am about that, like, simple investing. I don't want to this and that and that. Nah, buying the bottom, man. This is what macro investors do. This is what crypto OGs do. They buy in the bottom, it rises up, and they sell somewhere near the top. Then they wait for it to go really low, and then they buy at the bottom again. If you waited, sorry, there's still opportunities like I've been showing you. They typically are not sexy coins, but like EOS, Digibyte, Bitcoin Cash, Decred. These are coins with big liquidity. Okay? Just to let you know. Did you make it with WADs? Moon? What's a WADs? What's WADs? Bro, WTF is dog wear hat. Oh, yeah. I'll show you. Richie bought dog wear hat. Shout out to Richie. Dog wear hat's a meme coin, bro. It's funny. He's a little dog with a hat. Bang. That's what it is. It just went up a lot. A little bit of dog with hat. Floki's popping off. Dang. And then, Bitcoin Maxi, you're going to see this, and they're going to get butthurt, and they're going to say, well, these things don't have any, like, value, and this and that. It's like, shut up. Shut up. Like, it's going up. This is what crypto gets to be. It becomes, like, yeah, Bitcoin could be the first and, like, the technical revolution that it was, but, like, then new people come in, and no one cares. Pepe, look at that. Shiba. We talked about this fractal, remember? That this looked exactly like this. Now, the one thing I would say with meme coins, guys, is this. I am not a fan of ERC20s. Guys, I'm getting quoted $100 just to move my coins, let alone exchange them. So, like, if you could find meme coins that aren't on ERC20, and now I know a lot of big ones are, but there is a cost for moving your coins. I got quoted $200 for moving a coin. That's ridiculous, bro. Like, no. So if you could find a meme coin that's not on that and it's cheap to move, why not? Like, that's why I like Doge. If I had to pick a meme coin and gave me more chance, and I had to get in and I had a bag to throw into it, I would pick Doge. Why? Yeah, there's other ones that might go up a lot, but I don't gotta move. I don't gotta spend $200 a freaking time I want to move my coins. Like, it's cheap, And at the end of the day, these gas fees are gonna stop people from wanting to participate in these coins. Yeah, they're taking off now, but later, when those gas fees at $200 become $2,000, watch that trading volume stop like it's hot. Guarantee you, man. That's what happened last time. This is why my dad thinks I'm Ed for being in crypto. LOL. I think I'm just trying too hard in crypto. LOL. It's so stupid. Yeah, it's stupid, man. It's funny. I'll give you guys a chance to hop on, say what's up, say hi, tell me what you're thinking. Just we'll talk generally about what's going on in the market, what you think about it. I'll drop my StreamYard link down here. It's now in the chat. Feel free to hop on, say what's up to the homie, say what's up to the people. Or if not, I'm gonna be out. But I like to meet you guys. I like to see who's on the other side of the icon. Matt, put a name, maybe a face if you feel comfortable, to it. But it's all fun, guys. I think that, it's coming more and more evident that we're getting closer to the top. It's what we've all been waiting for, right? We've all been waiting to get to the next top. Well, it's going to come. It's coming, but like the hardest part is yet to arrive. I'm telling you, when you have more money than you thought you'd ever have in your life, that's the hardest time to pull. Because that greed's going to say, wow, this is more money I ever had, but what about a little more? A little more. A little more. And that's the problem. Hey, Steak, I see you're trying to join. Oh, there you go. There you go. Steak,
Hey,
how are you?
yeah, I just saw you drop that link, so I thought, why not?
Yeah, jump on, jump
Why not
on.
never
Glad
join?
to have you. If you guys don't know
First
Steak,
time I'm here.
yeah, if you guys don't know Steak, he's one of the guys that participate in the Hash It Out stream with Dave and Clint Westwood and Xavier that we do on Thursdays. So glad to have you here, man.
Happy to be here. I'm definitely gonna rewatch some old videos of yours. I've yet to
Oh,
do
thanks.
that, so
Thanks.
I'm
There's
gonna
a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
go
them.
through that, get those numbers up.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of
I'll,
them, dude.
really. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a no life anyway. Might as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like to be honest, it's just
When
it's
did you start?
well, I started the channel 2016, but
Oh
like you'll
yeah.
see
All
it
right.
was like not a crypto channel. It was more like just a freaking diary, I guess. Like, like just talking about things that
Right.
came onto my mind. And then
Right.
yeah, and then there's some where I was just like in my car at work, during work, like lunch, just talking about things. And then 2020 I made the jump, left my job, and I started making YouTube channels on crypto. I mean, YouTube videos on crypto.
Wow.
And then I had really no plan. And then things worked out in the industry for me. So I've been full-time crypto for about 4 years now.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So how many times a day or a week do you do these videos?
Usually two, but I kick it up to three. Saturday stream is fun, but three of them, yeah.
Wow. It's a lot of work.
That's not hard.
That's a lot of
It's
work.
just talking. Like I used to do a lot of like edited videos, and that really kind of burned me out because like it's easy
Right.
to just get on here and just kick it, and that's what I typically like to do. So
Right. Yeah, fair enough. That's pretty cool. I just shared a little bit in the chat, but just before I hopped on, I watched 22 minutes of yesterday's Eve Denver with was an interview on stage with Joe Lupin of
uh
Consensus. He was basically asked for his super cycle opinion and on where the industry is at. Kind of funny. He's exactly on the same page as what we've been talking about.
oh
So if
really?
you want to hear it, like, yeah, that's like one of the people masterminds behind like Consensus, digital infrastructure, digital identity, and Ethereum. And for him, saying the exact same things.
Like what? Can you be a little more specific
Well,
on that?
I like super cycle of 80, 90-year macro going after like second world war, first generation builds it, expands it with a new consensus of a protocol in society, creating hope. Second generation accelerates it. Third generation kind of sees the cracks. Fourth generation hits against the wall.
Yep.
That's us moving from a legacy system to a new digital system. And then he goes into crypto as an ecosystem as a whole, and he basically first shares that he thinks that Ethereum will have an ETF this year or early next year. And he got into that argument because he was basically being asked questions about Bitcoin ETF first, because that was kind of like the buzz in the room, obviously,
Hmm.
of the last few weeks, that number go up.
Yep.
And he addresses the fact that a rising tide lifts all boats, and then he gets a question like, what kind of protocols do you think are interesting? And he goes into like how all sorts of like decentralized pieces of infrastructure, whether that's decentralized storage or decentralized bandwidth or decentralized farming or decentralized electrical vehicles or decentralized identity or decentralized personal stocks, like your own personal behavior becomes a stock in like a decentralized AI, and then the apps actually come to you. So you have a model built with communities instead of through a corporation, because through a corporation it's at odds with what the population in a society wants. So you have to do it through a community. And he names a few of those projects, many of them who we already named before. He doesn't really touch into like legislation. He does mention the SEC, um, giving them some headaches. Doesn't really want to go into like the politics, but if you're talking about ERC20s, I've mentioned the SEC versus Wahi court case before. I think everyone should look at the settlement. It's only a few pages. It's easy to read, and
Hmm.
you'll get the gist of it. So that was kind of interesting. And then if you talk about decentralization and how he wants to do that through Ethereum and then through an ETF, he also mentions gas fees, and that will be a problem. And he says if they want to have the gas, if they want to have the ether, the price has to go up along with it. So I think the prices are just going to go fucking through the roof. Like,
For gas.
I think, yeah, can you imagine all these idiot TradeFi people, like the old guard paying for memes? For meme storage. Can you imagine? Because that's the
Yeah.
level of retardation we're talking about. Like these guys that are thinking they're the old guard are actually paying for a dog with hat. It's like, yeah,
Hey,
you
like
know,
this is the thing that I'm now taking into account, like gas fee. Like to be honest, like 2017, I think the highest I ever got was $80 gas quote.
right.
Now, right
Yeah.
off the bat, before it's even all-time highs, it's 200.
Yeah. We haven't
Uh,
even started.
no, no, I can't do that. Like, no, like if anything, it's like an exchange is always more gas intensive, right?
So there's
And the
another side to this argument that will make you even more bullish, because it's like the start of a vacuum. And if you want to have the real bullish one, I'll give you it. I'll hit you on with it.
yeah,
It's
they
also
like
based
bullish
on the
stuff. Give it
video I've
to them.
seen. Yeah, here's the one. So remember with those stock buybacks, how big tech is laying off people in the industry. Unemployment goes up as the economy cools down.
Hmm.
Well, guess what? Blockchain companies are hiring, like by the 20s, by the hundreds already. Like so many blockchain based companies are out there because of the ETF money. All the jobs in tech are moving to that.
Sure.
So we see a massive, and it's the start, right? And then tomorrow, or today in the US, tomorrow for me in Europe, apparently Kennedy is going to talk on ETH Denver. So we're going to see that either, well, within 24 hours, I think we're going to see some video there. I think it's kind of interesting how a politician that will go toe to toe at some point between Trump and Biden, even though he won't win because it will be a Republican or Democrat. But I think as a Kennedy, he will get some screen time. So this narrative will go out there, I think, through him to the public, and I think that will be something we want to watch for our exit liquidity when it really starts to ramp up in the elections. I mean, it's going to go at some point. People are going to get interested in going into crypto, especially if politicians talk about it, if the regular news starts to talk about it. So I think that's going to be the entry of the narrative for the exit liquidity. At least it's something I'm keeping an eye on as a good potential that might happen. So I thought I'd
Yeah,
share that.
it'd just be more bullet. I think it'll be more like fuel on the fire because like Bitcoin is on this doorstep of breaking into all new to all-time highs now. Like I think it
Yeah,
can get, and
no, for
once it
sure.
does, it's going to be in the mainstream consciousness. So like then everything on top of that is like jet fuel, but I think
Yeah,
the thing
maybe,
that
but
really
like, could
go
it
ahead.
also be like as a derivatives with ETF? They're just gonna sell it to one another in order to suppress the price from not going to all-time high. Like we go sideways into a mini alt season and then get a retracement as we get legislation for stable coins in June?
I mean, we could, right? We could. I think it needs to get some back. I mean, look at that thing. It's pretty crazy,
Yeah, I
right?
know it looks fucking phenomenal.
I know. Like, no, I think he'll give some back, obviously, but like this, I keep saying, like, I don't think it's gonna be as long as people expect. Like, we have constant buying pressure from this ETF. Like, TradFi doesn't care about swing trading, and
I
these
know.
people who have 401ks, they're automating their contributions into this thing. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting to see. Even if you have a crash, I think it's gonna be pretty bought up aggressively. I did not expect
Yeah.
this. I don't think people thought this
Apparently,
happened
there's a
this high.
whale buying everything up that goes under 60K.
Exactly, exactly. They're over, like, they want the large majority of the move. They're not trying to snipe in out. They have so much money. They don't care about that. They don't need to care about that. So
You're getting me excited now.
no, you guys need to understand. Like, macro
It's a lot.
people who have this much money, they're not
I
trying to
know.
maximize every single percentage. They want to get in for 60% of the move
Everything.
because they know if
Yeah.
they get in, they're moving the price up on themselves. So they're like, 50% I'm cool.
Whatever.
Yeah, like
Whatever.
whatever. Like, I'm gonna pump this
Yeah.
thing in and then they're gonna pull it out.
And now you see, like Vanguard at a certain point was like, yeah, we're not going to do this Bitcoin ETF. And now the CEO got fired after 33 years of service. It's like, time to go.
Yeah. Oh shoot, my
Oh, Dave was there with a comment, like Kraken.
yeah. Kraken hiring
Kraken.
120K, start of OTC officer.
Yeah,
Ha
for
ha ha.
120K. Good luck with
Here we
that.
go. Here we go.
Yeah, because anyone capable of that really needs 120K.
Yeah, I mean, I think they pay a little more. Is that what they're starting with? 120K start.
I hope they pay them in shit coins.
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you think about XRP? I know that you had a big thesis regarding ISO.
Yeah, I still do. I was in one of the community spaces last night, 1st of March. So I kind of was like, yo, I need to ask around, like, what's with the price movement? I was expecting a little bit more. Room was full of idiots. So they led me to one guy that actually knows a little bit of what he's talking about because he's been deep diving on ISO 2022 for his entire journey. So I'm going through his threads right now. I'm trying to get friendly and have a dialogue with him at some point. Hopefully, I will be able to do that. So
Uh-huh.
I wanna work on the relationship first because I just don't want to do like a question and get in and out. I think I might need the guy in the future, and he might need us. So it's just I think it's interesting to have people with like rabbit holes for 3 years, into something prominent because you want to get the details right.
Yep.
And he has addressed everything I have addressed, but I see that he is missing something I found, which is the 1st of March for the Bank of England. And it did correspond on the VIX. Like the VIX is not suppressing oil anymore since Friday. Like this shit broke yesterday. Like I don't know if some of you follow macroeconomics, but oil broke. It's kind of significant with the war out there because that was the tool to suppress Russia on Ukraine. So that's like really, it's a really fucking big move. No one is
When did it go
really.
to? What percentage did it rise up? I haven't followed it.
I think it went to 80 dollars a barrel, and now immediately after that, the Federal Reserve is like, yeah, this, the economy is okay, and everyone is asking for rate cuts immediately. So that narrative is coming to the forefront. They were thinking about cutting rates in June. Now they might do it in May or even in March already. So that's
Isn't that
moving that
funny?
to the
Isn't that
forefront.
funny, Steak?
It's
Isn't
all
it funny?
connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always say we're
So
not gonna
so
do
that
this,
was the
but then they
response,
change it. Yeah, they change
Yeah.
it.
So do I already see it in Ripple XRP? No, but I kind of want to see it after the weekend. Like if these politicians get the message on Monday, like oil is going up and the rate cuts are going to come in, like they're going to look at those banks, they're going to look at those commercial banks, and I think everyone will find a very weird portfolio in banking on Monday. Like I think if they look at their actual balance sheet and they're like, oh, this is it. Like I don't have time anymore. This is it. Like, part of the song stopped and I now have to sit on the chair. Not the end of the song, but like, one chair is going to go.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a next piece of the crumble of the cookie breaking. And I think that's going to happen next week.
For sure. And I just want to point you guys out. Like, I'm all about fractals, right? And I pretty much getting the SHIB fractal right where I was pointing out on the channel. I think we're pretty late in the fractal for XRP. I mean, look at that. It looks exactly
Yeah,
like this.
yeah,
Exactly. It's
yes,
late in the
I
tooth.
agree. And everything is moving up in the market except
Yeah.
XRP so far.
Yeah. So we
Stellar,
have one.
Stellar already did it. Stellar is ahead of XRP actually. So if you want to see, which is very weird because it's a fork, right? So if you look at Stellar, Stellar goes for more like retail, where XRP will go more like countries and big
Thanks.
institutions.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But if you look at Stellar and from a fractal point of view, it's moving ahead of it. So it's kind of like a month ahead of it right now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I
XRP has
mean,
some catching up.
and Hedera is also ISO coin, right?
Yeah, Hedera is doing great as well.
Yeah, so all these
Yeah.
ISO, you talked about that, and we see ISO coins starting to move up a little bit. So, and Hedera, I think, is gonna be pretty bullish. Not financial advice, but I always talk about
Yeah.
this structure like a curse of D, and this whole
Yeah.
cycle was that last cycle. So, like, typically gets a little exponential from there, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, but I think everything's looking pretty exciting. I know that. When did you get into crypto for the people listening at home?
Oh, not so long ago. Only in 2021 in April. So I entered at the peak of the market, just like the fucking noob I am.
Welcome.
First time investing.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you for your service, is what you said
yeah, yeah,
kindly to
yeah.
me when I provided that exit liquidity. And yeah, well, I noticed that 4 weeks in, I got the giant correction of like losing 85% in 15 minutes while I was staring at my phone. You know, you were refreshing, doing your sets. I was going through an entire box of Kleenex, I think, in 15 minutes,
Oh
crying
man,
in the corner.
damn.
But that was a wake up call. Like, yeah, I really need to know what I'm doing here. I should be smart enough to get this. So then, from May 21 till now, I've just been doing 6 7 hours a day, every day, reading, watching, talking, listening, questioning, um, DCAing, implementing and executing different strategies, and learning macro, learning crypto, learning consensus mechanisms, learning a little bit how to read code, how to get on GitHub, how to check projects. So going to the nitty gritty of it, networking with people there, and then also go macro, zoom out, and go to like what are the institutions doing, what's the geopolitics doing, and then professionally I work as a social worker, so I'm very in tune with how finance well basically influences the lower classes. So you know
Mhm,
you're kind of like looking at the top and the bottom. And at some point I decided to say, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to read a bunch of law, because there's plenty of guys with TA out there, but if I want something from them, I got to offer something. So I'm just going to read all these fucking boring ass legal papers. So I did that for about 2 years. And
mhm,
yeah, something to trade, you know? People trade numbers with me, I trade words. And then you get like the funny thing is, at a certain point when you're smart enough, or you're at the point where you're getting it, is where the timelines start to line up with one another. So I talk to someone and it's like, shit, we get the same timeline. But I'm looking at it from a TA, I'm looking at it from an Elliott wave or a fraction. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at legal papers right now, or I'm looking at like politicians saying this shit. And it's like, oh, really? Well, which ones? Well, they named these companies. It's like, oh, that makes sense. So
mhm.
you start to like narrowing things down with the same kind of people and businesses, and like you see contours of like a new digital infrastructure being built globally, but it's so big to just end it there. I can't possibly follow everything, so you just need a shit ton of other people that are nuts enough to do this, because I can't talk about this in my private life. Like, who the fuck's gonna listen
Yeah,
to a
you'd lose
10
all your
hour rant?
lose all your friends,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, I think that's a good point for people listening at home is, I mean, you can't do it all yourself, and like, if anything, you should be networking or being or like participating in streams like this, getting to know people. If anything, that's that like Twitter spaces, I might start doing a little bit of get to know people, grow your
Yeah,
contacts, follow the people who can offer you some kind of like edge, and also try to provide an edge yourself, right? Like
yeah,
everyone has an edge in the space, but if you work collaboratively with people, you could have more edges than most people have and see more of the market than most people can. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, even if you're just a guy that knows everything about Satoshi, and you just come in and you're like, yeah, some new lore dropped. It's like I just read 40 of his new emails.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of cool. Like I listen to that. I definitely want that.
Because there's brand new people coming in the space now that know nothing. Like, even if you think you don't know much, you definitely know 100 times more than these people coming in do, and they're going to
Yeah.
value your knowledge. So if you look at it like anything, like, this is all a learning experience, but you yourself in the future become valuable, very valuable to people. So
Yeah. I
yeah.
agree. And if I want to have a bold claim, I said it a long time ago and I'll say it again. At a certain point, and I'm thinking about 2 decades maybe for millennials, you might want to think about moving into government. And I know we have a very difficult relationship in our generation with that because we hate the government and everything it stands for and it didn't do for us. But if you want to build a better system, that's kind of where you start.
Mm,
And it's going to need people in society that actually know this shit.
yeah. Or become someone they lobby to. Just kidding.
Gas fees.
Lobbying rules the world, man. Rules the world. Well, hey, thanks for hopping on, Steak.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
thanks for
try
having
to
me.
start doing some interviews. I'm gonna be interviewing Clayton Westwood next week. Blind Dave, I think, wants to hop on. I gotta have you on as well. Do a interview with you. Just pick your brain on the spot. I think people value your input. So
I'd love that, man. Thank you for the offer. I'll definitely watch more of you and Clint and Dave as well on the interviews. Maybe Javi too. I don't know, but it's yeah, it's great having you on the show. Great for having me here for the last couple of minutes, and thanks everyone for listening.
anytime, man. All right, appreciate you. Talk to you later. Yeah, and Xavier, gotta have you on too. But yeah, I just think it'd be cool. Do a highlight some of the subs so you guys know who's involved in the community. People have been involved for a long time. I think this community has a lot of OG subscribers. I think 2013-ish. Do I have any 2010s? I don't know, but I'd love to know the stories. It's been fun. I do this now 3 times a week. I'll let you know if I'm not doing a Saturday if I'm too tired or sometimes I get too tired on Saturdays. But usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and let's say 9 or 10 a.m. On Saturday Pacific Standard Time. It's been fun, y'all. Dub Digital out. Talk to y'all later. Peace.